Hell of a lot better. All right, let's move on. There's some things that I have certain questions that we've pretty much covered just by going off topic. Let's see.
That's cool.
Um, I mean, I can definitely. I'll probably just link to the video you made. Oh, I was actually gonna ask you, how long did that take to make? Because that is ridiculous, having all the text and everything. That's
Oh
insane.
god, I'm kind of an I won't say embarrassed that I made all those videos like that, but I think I've matured a lot, to some extent at least. Um, and yeah, that video is obviously not that old, but I think that and obviously, now in hindsight, having, you know, standing here with the MCC collection, only months away, I'm just kind of like I get a little bit, the hairs stand up on the back of my neck when I like watch that. I'm like, oh god, I shouldn't have done that. It was totally
No, that is the greatest video of all time. I swear.
uh
I
yeah,
don't watch long videos, and I watched that through, and I was like, wow. I hope that like one person from 343 watches that and realizes what they could be doing.
I don't think 343 or Bungie ever watched any of my videos, and
They might have
probably,
started them. They probably started them, and they were like, all right, this is out of hand.
yeah, I'm not gonna say I wish that I hadn't made them. Like I had a lot of vitriol because I thought I was like saving the universe by making them. I was trying to do some like just a big crusader for Halo justice or some stupid thing,
Yeah.
which I wasn't. I was just I needed something to be pissed off about, so I focused my energy on that. Well, I probably could have been more productive about it, or I could have put it towards something else or something. But basically, if I could go back now, I would do it differently. But it is what it is. Those videos are out there, and I'm not ashamed of my opinions. I'm not ashamed of I'm not ashamed of the sentiment that I was trying to get across in making them. But it's just it was somewhat juvenile. And maybe some good came of them. I don't know if they had really any influence, because ultimately I was kind of preaching to the choir every time I put those videos out, because I would be like, I'm gonna make this video talking about how awesome MLG is and competitive Halo is, and I'm gonna post it on the MLG forums.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
So they all love it.
yeah, so it's like, well, that didn't really, and I never posted them on Bungie, but other people posted them there, and
Oh,
obviously that went down exactly how you expected it would have.
yeah.
And the same thing with Waypoint.
Dude, I don't understand some people's opinions though with that. I try because I trust me, I think that's the most important thing is to look at others' opinions. But when people are like, we need more weird weapons, it just irritates me, man. Like,
I've
I don't get it.
I've um I've come to have the opinion that, I guess, and again, now that I've gotten what I wanted, it's much easier to be charitable about it.
Yeah, this could be a completely different interview if MCC never happened.
Oh, I think it would be. Um, but yeah, it's like ultimately, because it was so far gone at the time, I I'd switched from being angry about it, because I was legitimately upset, because not only was the Halo that I liked getting dismantled piece by piece, but the community was also shrinking. So I couldn't really just go to an event and, just be like, ha ha, this Halo sucks, but I'm still, hanging out with my friends
Yeah.
and gaming into the night and having a good time, and screwing around in the tournament, playing with like inverted controls and the FFA and just messing around. I couldn't do that anymore. So it was, not only was it ruining my Halo experience, it was also ruining the social experience behind it. And I was upset about that, because Halo was important to me. I have so many friends that I've made through Halo, and I was losing that avenue of socialization. And so I kind of lashed out, and got really pissy with a lot of people all the time, because
You were
I
pissed.
wasn't really, yeah, I wasn't really going to make any headway by saying you're taking away my favorite thing.
Yeah.
So I tried to appeal to reason, and obviously there was, what I think was good logic behind what I was saying, but you know, I guess, and who knows if it even made a difference, but
Hey, it
you know,
could have. I mean, when you have, well, I think it's like 8,000 views. That's a decent amount. There's got to be a few people in there that watch it that can. I mean, there has to be some people from 343 that watch videos like that. There's no way. There's
well
just
that
got to be.
well that video I think is set to, you can only see it if you have the link.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
so it had to have gotten spread around that way.
Right.
Um, I don't know if people really revisit it and watch it with any kind of
Yeah.
serious attitude.
Well,
They're
either
probably
way,
just like,
I'm
hey, remember
gonna.
that? Yeah, that happened.
I'm gonna put it in the description because anyone who didn't watch it should at least check it out. I mean, see, at the core, it. I mean, you had good intentions. You, like you said though, you did it in like a. I don't know. It's not even like a nasty way though, because at the time, that's exactly how every other person felt. Because they're just like destroying everything, and you just need someone to break it down for them and be like, look, this is what worked. Why are you trying to copy these games? And they fail. Like we all expected them to fail, and they failed miserably by copying other games, and everyone knew it was coming. Like that's just like that's annoying to watch that happen. Like you were saying.
Yeah, I think my anger was kind of renewed in the way that they were very shamelessly selling out for what was trendy at the time, and that
It's the
really
worst.
pissed me off. It wasn't even like, well, we're just going to do our own thing. No, we're going to actually
Copy.
just, yeah, we're just going to totally, you know, gank some of these ideas from the most popular shooter franchise out there right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's just not cool, man. Like
It's
you're not even being original and
yeah.
sucking. You're
It's
copying and sucking.
it's almost
Wh-
like they I can't say it, I can't even say it's a good thing, but it almost is because of how repetitive it's gotten that now I think developers realize like because Halo MCC is going to be a big hit. I already know it. As if their ranking system is good, it's going to be good. Halo 5 will have a good ranking system because of Joshua Menke and because 343 realizes they're going to get wrecked if they don't have a good one. And I think other developers like Titanfall, that I knew that was going to be trash. My anyone that says they like that, I'm just like, there's no longevity. Why am I going to keep playing that game? It's just maybe like a day of playing that game and then I move on.
yeah, I had a feeling that Titanfall wasn't going to make as big of a splash as people thought it was
No,
going
they
to.
even they marketed it well too. They marketed it pretty damn well that people knew it was coming, and it still flopped. Like, come on.
For me, it was kind of like the Avatar of video games.
I loved Avatar.
Oh, oh
I
shit.
mean,
Well,
they did market Avatar well, but I saw it in 3D, and that was the first 3D movie I saw, and I thought it was awesome.
well, that's just kind of like what I was getting at. It was very not obviously. Avatar was directed by James Cameron, but Titanfall was like the Michael Bay of video games. It was just like just very well produced with not a lot of substance to it.
Oh, not at all. There isn't depth to it, and then people start to realize that, and then they go back to the games that they try. I mean, they weren't even trying to copy anyone. They just I hate even tearing apart games, but it's not even that hard. And then I think about the people who made that game and spent like so much time making it, and now that it failed, they probably are so sad. But like, you need to have someone at the top that has a good plan, and clearly that game didn't have a good plan from the beginning.
Well, people are all geeked up about like Josh Mankey, for example, getting hired on to the staff, and
Why you
like all
don't
the.
think he'll be good?
Well, okay. The thing of it is that we've been here before, with Sage Merrill for Halo Reach, who was one of the top minds behind one of the most competitive console shooters in history, which was Shadowrun. He was a big part of that.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Shadowrun was
that.
yeah, Shadowrun was a fantastic game, at least competitively speaking. It didn't sell very well because it didn't
Right.
have like a campaign, but and it was based on a pen and paper RPG. Uh, but and that game was terrible. Like that game was god awful. And Sage Merrill was a huge part of that. And they talked it up. They put him in all the Vidocs and stuff like that. And they were joking around like, don't tell Sage about this feature, he'll nerf it. And I was like, you see what happens. You see what happens when you get your hopes up because they just hired on a personality. So
Yeah.
the whole we got Josh Menke thing. I mean, and then like the same thing with Quinn.
I like Quinn though. I feel like he actually knows what's going on.
I think he does too, but I think the people making the decisions, whoever that is, because being so tied in with Microsoft, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not the
that's
kind of
annoying.
person. Yeah, I'm not the kind of person who believes that there's like a bunch of suits sitting in the back of the room, with their sunglasses on and their earpieces and making all the decisions and stuff, and like forcing these guys to put Bloom in the game at gunpoint.
Yeah.
But I think that whoever the lead executives are on the Halo team, because some of those job titles are really vague. There's got to be some people that are pulling the strings that are just making things difficult for everybody else. Because I refuse to believe that Quinn and Sage and Josh Menke, depending on how everything plays out with Halo 5, that their former projects were just a bunch of happy accidents. I don't buy that.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah. So
As
you
far as
think
just
you're saying that like they did have a big impact on the things that they did previously, but you think they go to 343 and then Microsoft's kind of up there like, look, this is what we need, and then the people above them are trying to like basically they're like puppets, but they have a little bit of a say, but they only have so much of a say.
yeah, because like they've been, Bungie ran with that excuse since Halo 2. They were like, well, Halo 2 was, that was a rushed game. We didn't have time to work on it. And I'm like, okay. Well, you had all the time in the world to work on Halo 3. That didn't turn out so well. So I just kind of admitted to myself there's got to be something going on behind the scenes
Yeah.
that's making these games so crappy.
Well, that leads. All right, we got to move into this question because that was actually another thing I was going to say.
Okay.
I think this is something I kind of think I posted about it before. It was a while ago that I think Bungie, like you're saying, like they acted like Microsoft tells them what to do, but I think that with Reach, they kind of knew the game was not gonna work really well, but that they could test things for like Destiny, which is what they wanted to do. But do you think that's what they did also, or do you think something different? Do you think they meant Reach to be good and just fucked it up? Or do you think they were testing the waters?
I don't see that anything in Reach at all. I don't think Reach was a good testing environment because everything sucked. Not one part of that game was actually good, at least in the beginning. I don't see how you could have pulled any useful data out of that complete clusterfuck of an experience because, I mean, what worked? Nothing worked. But if everything didn't work, how do you like pull a useful conclusion from that when you just got this giant chaotic cacophony of bad? What were you testing? Were you
Right.
testing how terrible of a game you could make? Because grade
Well,
A,
that's
you did it.
that's another thing I think though is that I mean I guess I didn't think about it like that, but even they could have even just been like, look, we're gonna make a huge shit pile out of this Halo so that Halo kind of gets brought down, and then it did get brought down. Although 343 could have made it a lot better with Halo 4, they completely failed. And then I see, but I don't think Bungie expected MCC to come back at them and give them a backhand to the face because Halo was going down, and then Master Chief Collection was like, "Hey, Destiny, go fuck yourself," basically.
I'm
So
I'm I am interested to see how, because I don't think that MCC is going to be like this giant blockbuster of a release. I think that a lot of people are going to buy it. I think that I don't know. There's this weird culture behind Halo games and ultimately by proxy Bungie games now with Destiny that people just buy them, man.
yeah,
They
I
they
agree with that.
just buy them. Whether they keep playing them or not, that's totally up in the air. But people are going to be lining up at the door at midnight to buy Destiny or
Yeah,
however they decide to release it.
They just throw a
They're
couple copies out. People have to fucking dive in.
yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do like a digital release or anything, but because I don't keep up with stuff like that. But I know people are gonna buy Destiny. I know it's gonna sell obviously more than the MCC is going to go for.
I think that Destiny is gonna break records. Honestly, I
Well,
think
yeah, I mean like it'll break records, but like breaking records in the gaming industry almost means nothing right now.
because it's just growing and growing.
Yeah, it happens every like 2 months.
That is kind of true.
Something comes out and breaks the previous first day sales record, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, that lasted a month and a half this time.
Except for Ghosts. Well, I don't know if you know Call of Duty Ghosts didn't outsell. I guess yeah, it was Black Ops 2. Like that was the first time it happened in a really long time that it didn't outsell.
Yeah, because I think that one was so bad that people actually realized
That
it right
oh
off the
my
get go.
gosh, I don't know if you play Call of Duty, but that's the worst Call of Duty I've ever played, and I don't know how anyone can argue that it's not. Like it is so bad. Like you can't even play it as a casual and try to enjoy it because they made the map so damn big and the spawning is the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. But that's besides the point, I guess. Wait, did you play the beta at all for Destiny?
No, I haven't. I honestly really don't know much about it at all.
Oh, because I was gonna ask about that, but I mean, if you don't, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's like I said, it's definitely gonna sell extremely well, especially because they're saying to Microsoft, kind of like, "Fuck you, you have to have our game on your system, but we're gonna cater to PlayStation because we don't like you anymore." I think that's kind of what they're doing, but
Yeah.
they're gonna sell unbelievable amounts. I guarantee the marketing's gonna get insane in the next couple months. It's gonna be you're gonna see it everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't really know what kind of game Destiny is going to be like when it's finally, all put together.
Yeah.
I don't know if what they're going for is what people are really looking for in games right now. I could be completely wrong. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna reserve my judgment until I get my hands on it, until I see a lot of content produced for it.
I mean, I like the beta a lot. I think I haven't played campaign in a while in any game, and I thought it was really cool. And just the mix of like an RPG FPS is something new. Like Titanfall, people said Titanfall was trying something new. That game was not that new. Like you could run on walls, and that was about it. Like Destiny is really the depth is going to be unbelievable. I hate the people that are saying because they played the beta that they know that oh they don't have that much content. Are you kidding me? They said Bungie said they plan for the game to last like 5 to 10 years. They're not. I don't think they're fucking around. Like when you go, if you did play the beta, you kind of go around and you. It's almost like there's different vendors you go to for different armors and stuff, and like that is it just I just feel like it's infinite. Like they're just gonna keep adding content. And for anyone who likes campaigns, they're gonna keep playing because they're gonna keep adding shit. And the only problem, multiplayer might flop bad if they can't balance stuff. That is gonna be where it's really gonna test like how it can last. So I don't know.
I don't think that I I don't think that an MMO FPS can work in that regard as being like a massively like as far as like you try to make like because ultimately the big thing in online gaming right now is open world stuff. Like that's what everybody's going insane over.
Yeah.
Making everything open world. And eventually you're going to have someone who makes an open world shooter and it's like, this is the stupidest thing. Why did you even think this was a good idea? Because someone's going to do it.
That's pretty much what I mean. Well, what do you by open world? I mean, it can't be complete like never ending. But I feel like Destiny is gonna take a shot at it, and I mean, everyone has their honeymoon phase of playing any game, and I think
Oh, yeah.
that could be what I'm getting. But I just think that the beta's barely any of what Destiny's gonna be, and I think it's gonna blow people away. I think people are gonna expect it to not live up to the hype, and I didn't. But from playing the beta, I just feel like it's going to be a really good game. The only thing that might not work out perfectly is multiplayer, but I think they'll work on it to fix it. It's just going to be weird. Like you're saying, it's going to be weird.
Well, Bungie's always made good, very phenomenal single player experiences. I could never knock them for for that side of their games. You know, they've always delivered in that respect, and I trust that they'll do the same thing with Destiny. But ultimately, I think that the more important, once the Halo franchise got cemented, like the lore and the story and the general awareness of what Halo was about and Master Chief and that whole plot with the Covenant and the Flood and that, I think it was clear that the multiplayer was like the standard bearer as far as what drove the franchise, because if you just suddenly said that Halo is not going to have a multiplayer in the next game, I mean, nobody's going
Don't
to
even
buy
make
it.
the game. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
even make the game.
nobody is going to purchase that title, no matter how many people are really, really into the Halo universe. You get
Right.
on Halo to shoot other people across the continent.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so as far as Destiny's multiplayer, who's to say? Like I said, I'm gonna hold my tongue until it's out, until I can get my hands on it. I don't know that I'll necessarily buy it, but I'll definitely try to find a way to play it. And if it's good, if it's good. I don't really either way. I don't really plan on investing myself into it too much because I'm going to be too busy with a certain other game.
I know that's the problem with me too, man. And I mean, I love FIFA too. FIFA's like the only sports game I play, and FIFA 15, Destiny, and Halo are like. I mean, Halo's a little bit later, so I can play Destiny for like 2 months, but still, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna
You
be a
got 2 months, Destiny.
yeah. That's your chance to shine,
That's your
buddy.
shelf life.
That's funny. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if I like the game, I'll probably play it occasionally. But I like having those games you can kind of go to when like that's why I like FIFA. I don't like any other sports game. I think every other sports game is trash, but FIFA is a very good game. So like when I'm playing shooters and I need a break, I just play FIFA for a little bit and then I go back on. But I don't know. Um, I feel like I might just break. I mean, if you don't care, we can just do this again, and I'll just do it because we haven't even gotten halfway through the questions yet. But I mean, it's been some good content talking. I feel like I was thinking about just going on the forums and being like, "What do you want? What are some questions? If anyone has questions for you, just do that. See what comes up, and then we can do like a part two if you have time."
We could just we could rapid fire through them if you want. I can give not half an hour long answers.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Um, did you when you knew that AGL was gonna take over, like make doing the competitive competitions, what did you think was gonna happen? Did you think they were gonna do good, or did you think they were just gonna fail miserably?
I'm not going to say exactly what happened is what I thought was going to happen, but it was in the ballpark. Right from the get go, I did not trust those guys. I didn't trust Brad. There's just something wrong with the way they were, with their business model and like their source of revenue, where they were getting all the support from, who was paying the bills, who was setting up all these events at these locations. Something just didn't click right with me, and I felt like in the back of my head, and it was such a hype train at the time. It was like you say one bad word about AGL and you're going to get just neg bombed all over the place. So I was
Yeah.
kind of holding my tongue because I think at the time I was kind of on people's shit list for well, I mean, when am I not? But
Yeah.
and ultimately the way that played out, I was just like, I knew it. I knew it. I mean, it's sad, but I knew it.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good is Brad at commentating?
I don't even want to give him any points because of how big of a dick he was.
All right, we'll skip.
I just,
We'll just
yeah.
skip it. I just thought that would be funny. I didn't think he was very good, and the whole thing that happened with Gandhi when supposedly he talked shit, I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Well, I love Gandhi. He's just great. So I'll probably side with him on anything.
Yeah, he keeps it real, which is good. I like that. He'll never sell out. There's not a chance.
Oh yeah.
But all right. Here's some quick questions. What's your favorite Halo map of all time?
Whew, Damnation. Definitely.
Least favorite.
Oh shit. Without getting into just the terrible, terrible, terrible maps in Halo 3 and beyond, I'd have to say it's between let's see. I hate construct. I
Really? I didn't think it was
I
that bad. I never
I
heard
hate
people
that.
say that.
I guess it's because I hate certain maps for certain game types is the problem. Like Construct King of the Hill is the worst game type in history, in my opinion.
Wow, that's a pretty bold
I
statement.
absolutely hate that game type, and I hate Lockout Slayer. I hate I hated Terminal.
I don't even know. I recognize the name, but I can't even think of it. What was that at like the end of Halo 3 or something?
That was a Halo 2 BTB map.
Oh, I don't know that then.
Everybody else will rant and rave about that map. I fucking hated it. Um, oh god, there's another one that's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of what it is. It's probably a Halo 3 map though. Well, yeah, those are the ones that come to mind.
Okay. Let's see. If you could pick one utility weapon to be in the new Halo, what would it be?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say the pistol.
All right,
Like
I'll take that. That's what I
yeah,
figured.
yeah.
If you could remove 3 weapons from Halo forever, what would they be?
Oh Jesus. Um, the one good thing is that uh, the bolt shot.
I knew that. I would
First
have
and
picked that
foremost,
too, man.
yeah.
Oh my
First and
god.
foremost, the bolt shot because there's no excusing that. The Halo community is really good at least the competitive community is good at filtering out bad weapons. So it's not like a lot of these terrible weapons actually make it into competitive play.
Right.
Yeah, obviously the bolt shot is just the worst thing in the world. The Mauler was really bad too. Probably, I'm trying to think of a weapon that's just pissed me off all the time. If the Halo 2 plasma pistol had kept going, I would have said get that thing like the hell out of Halo because that was bad.
What
Back
was
in the
wrong
day.
with it? Because I didn't play that much Halo 2.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. Well, basically, you can't miss with it. It's practically impossible.
So it's like a one-shot kill almost right after you shoot it.
Well, if you've got a BR and a plasma pistol, they used to call that the noob combo because literally you would aim within like if the person was on your screen, you would hit them with the plasma pistol and then one shot them with the BR and they would die instantly.
Yeah, that sounds like it probably shouldn't be in the game.
It was pretty terrible.
All right.
Fond memories of it, but it was terrible.
Right. All right. Are there any abilities besides OV and Invis that you think could work in Halo?
Damage boost.
Really? You think that could work?
Absolutely damage boost. I think that the resolution of health in Halo makes that possible. Because Halo does have short spawns. At least in Slayer it does. I don't know if I would do it in objective. It might be overpowered with the longer spawns.
So you think the same like time as it was in Halo 4 and like power of it, or do you think you would tone it down at all?
Well, that's another thing. It depends on the strength of the utility weapon because obviously it's going to be a lot more overpowered when you've got like a 5-shot DMR or BR.
Yeah, and a
then it's
sniper,
wreak
one-shot
havoc.
kill sniper is just like
Yeah,
people
exactly.
can freak out.
Yeah, and combine that with any other possible weapon, it could get out of hand. But ultimately, just the bare idea itself, Halo, excuse me, Halo is long overdue for power-ups that actually encourage offense, because we had the OS, and then that got fucked up. We had camo on map, and then that got fucked up. And now we're solely reliant on the weapons. And we've got all these crappy maps with no sense of like power positions and or like vulnerable positions to really put the weapons in good places.
Right.
Everything's messed up. So it's hard to say, well, we got to balance this one thing, but we also got to worry about 5 other things that are wrong with the game. We got to fix those too, because if we make this adjustment and then make all these other adjustments, that first adjustment is going to have to be retweaked again because it's not going to fit with the new version of Halo. So it's a complicated thing to say, we got to fix this. But ultimately, I think that there can be pretty much no downside to thinking up some other power-ups that encourage people to go into the other team's base and start kicking ass.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So it doesn't get campy. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay. What ranking system do you think worked best for Halo?
Everybody is up on the elo system, and like season based ranking systems.
I don't like that
And
much, honestly. That shit pisses. I don't know. I'm
well,
not a big fan.
it's you can't really argue against it if you're trying to be as unbiased as possible, because ultimately, when it comes down to just pure logic, it is the best way of doing a ranking system. Because, for example, one of the problems with the 1 to 50 system is there's really no such thing as a legit 1. Like, I was talking with, who was it? I think it was Catastrophe who explained this to me. It's like, the spectrum in a 1 to 50 system is not a true representation of the actual breadth of skill in Halo, because nobody is going to stay at level 1. Like, those people don't exist.
Yeah.
So with an elo system, you actually get the accurate representation of what your skill level is, because the lowest number is the worst player and the highest number is the best player. Now, as far as how the matchups work, that becomes really complicated and kind of an issue of like variables and math and stuff like that, and what you consider to be the most important stats of how someone wins a game. And it becomes infinitely more complicated when it's a team game. So it's hard to say what the best system would be. I don't think that the 1 to 50 system is so bad, and we know that it can work because it did work in Halo 2. It was very, very, I mean, cheaters aside, obviously, because Halo 2 was just rife with cheating, but it was very hard to get a 50.
Yeah, I heard it was like impossible almost.
It was next to impossible. And again, a lot of people probably didn't try, because as soon as you hit 45, you're getting standbyed and modded pretty much every match.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
So I would say it depends on, I guess, how much effort you want to put into it and whether or not you're willing to risk the system going to shit if you don't do it right. If you choose to do something like the elo system. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Elo, whatever.
I don't know.
But yeah, so do the 1 to 50 if you feel like playing it safe. It works. People will be interested. It'll keep people's attention. If you really want to expend the effort, try to do something else.
Okay. If you could guarantee that 3 things would be in Halo 5, what would they be?
Whew. No armor abilities.
Wait, no, that's the next question.
Shit.
I was thinking you were gonna do that too. I mean, like, things that you would want in the game.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Power-ups on map, first of all. Halo is too far towards the arena side of things to not have those in the game. They're just another way that you can spice the gameplay up. You can take the features of the map into consideration, and just make things less boring. As far as, you know, going for a reward on the map, there was no reason that they should have ever been taken out. A stronger utility weapon, which I'll always be clamoring for, because ever since Halo 2 came out, it's just taken too long to kill people. Mm-hmm. And that's just flat truth. And shit, I mean, the one thing that I had always dreamed of was dedicated servers, and now we got that.
I know. I was trying to explain that to one of my friends who really doesn't like game that much. I was trying to tell him like how absurd it's gonna be, and it's just it's the greatest thing ever. But all right, I can take that. I'm assuming they're gonna have dedicated servers in Halo 5. But okay, what 3 things would you have removed from Halo?
Okay,
here we go.
Obviously, armor abilities.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, man, like there's so many.
I know, that's why I tried. I wanted to skim it down.
Yeah, I mean, like my gut instinct is just say armor ability, sprint, and flinch.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you
But
would probably
then
pick
you
that.
still got bloom and spread to deal with, which also screwed the game experience up.
I
But we dealt with spread in Halo 2. Um, it wasn't that bad, and in Halo 3, I guess, but there were other problems there.
yeah.
The
Halo
BR
3
obviously didn't
got
fire in technically a straight line. God, man. Oh, have they said anything about D-scope?
no, they didn't say anything about descope. But
Well,
I
you
would
definitely got to have
think,
D-scope. Yeah,
yeah, I would think that's like the things that casuals don't realize is really game breaking because casuals don't play snipers that don't miss. So they
exactly.
don't understand that when you're playing against snipe down or like almost any pro player, I mean, they're all good at sniping. They can just pick people off. Like Formal, it was a joke for him, man. Watching him play Halo 4, it's like, come on. Like, he's
Absolutely.
not gonna miss.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll make that the third thing
All
that
right.
got to have in Halo
Okay.
D-scope.
Okay. We went through a couple of these. Oh, what do you think? I guess we talked about this earlier a little bit, but what do you think could go wrong with Master Chief Collection? Like, what are you afraid might happen that would be bad?
Well, obviously something could just come right out of left field and just be like, wow, I had no idea that that was going to be a problem. Because right now we're just under the impression that we're getting the games that we know and love at 1080p, 60 FPS with dedicated servers. Like that's the information that we have.
Yeah.
But the biggest crutch right now that's up in the air is obviously System Link. And I guess, MLG's finagled this kind of thing before, where they're like, I think it was with StarCraft, they had to construct like a pseudo internet network to get everything to work. I don't remember how it went or whatever, but it's something that we can, I guess, technically get around. And ultimately, even if we had to do that, the game would still, or games, I should say, would still operate on dedicated servers. So even though it wouldn't be a LAN environment, technically, it would still be fair.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be a host issue because that would be humongous. Like, one thing people don't understand is how huge host is for Halo 1 on LAN.
Well, yeah, I don't know at all. I've like never played Halo 1.
Yeah, that's a gigantic advantage. Not gigantic, but it's pretty significant. And
Yeah, that
most
it
people
makes an
don't.
impact.
Yeah, because people are like, well, they just have the idea that Halo 1 is perfect on LAN, which it's not by any means. Even when you use a crossover cable, there's still a little bit of slowdown, and there's like the hardware limitations of the Xbox make things difficult. So not having LAN support would be a big wrench in the gears. It might be something that we could work through, but that's the only thing that I have any idea of that's coming. Because, like I said,
Yeah,
they
let's
could
hope
just throw
there's
us
not
a
something,
yeah,
man. Something
they could
weird.
just throw us a curveball and just be like, fuck, I should have seen that coming.
We added sprint.
Um, oh,
people would,
don't even.
people would lose their minds if they did that.
I cannot be held responsible.
That would be the best troll ever if they fucking like joked that. Oh my
I think the,
god.
the best troll ever was probably CE Anniversary when they revealed they were
Oh,
multiplayer.
yeah, that's a mess.
I if there was a 343 employee in the room, or excuse me, wait, yeah, I probably would have strangled them to death and like hid the body.
That's hilarious. All right. Do you think Scuff should be in tournament play if
Oh God, this
with Halo at least? I
this
mean,
issue. I I think that for consoles, and I guess this would technically count for PC too, if you accepted that PC was a standardized platform, which it sort of is. Um, Consoles are a standardized platform. You go out and buy a console, you have a standard console that you go and buy. There is no standard computer. you go and buy whatever the hell you feel like when you go and purchase a PC to play with, and that includes your keyboard and your mouse and like headphones and whatever.
Right.
Like headphones is the good comparison to scuffs because headphones are a big advantage.
Oh, they
Like,
are.
yeah, they're a huge advantage. There's a lot of audio cues in Halo that you can only pick up on when you wear headphones. And if you're playing like a one-on-one on like Lockout or something like that, the person with the headphones is probably going to win like 80% of the time just based on that fact alone because they can hear the footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And scuffs, I don't know if because the big issue is the fact that Halo 2 has these button glitches that are normally kind of hard to pull off. Okay, only the double shot is hard to pull off. And anyone who's played someone who knows how to claw effectively knows that they can basically turn the BR into a machine gun. I mean, it gets that bad.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to start clawing.
Yeah, it can get pretty out of hand. And the prospect of making quad shotting people that much easier is frightening
Yeah,
because it's
that's
going to
scary,
completely
man.
change the way that it's going to change the way the game is played. And if scuffs make that that much easier, then it's just going to be another case of headphones where you can't ban it because people want to use it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because I mean, MLG and Scuff kind of go hand in hand. If they're having tournaments, they can't ban Scuffs. Honestly,
No, they
they
can't, and
can't
they
do it.
won't. And ultimately, it's just going to be another wasted $100 just to be able to compete.
Yeah,
So, but that's just that's if that's what the community wants, and that's what the community is going to get, and that's just the way it is because
right.
that's exactly what it was like with headphones. There was a point where not a single person in the entire venue was wearing a set of headphones. And you fast forward 2 years later, and you don't have a single person without them because that's just what Halo is now. And if people want a quad shot with their mappable controllers, then that's what they're going to end up doing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that even works with monitors because I always played on a tube TV back when I ended up going to a Halo 3 tournament, and it was kind of weird, especially when they made me play split screen. I was like, what the hell is going on? I didn't realize you had to play split screen through open bracket.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like confused, and like I said, I didn't have any headphones, so I was kind of thrown off just a tad. All right. I was just gonna go over stuff with Team Beyond real quick, but yeah, you can. You don't have to like draw everything out. How did you get involved with Team Beyond? Cause what are you, just a moderator right now?
Oh no, I'm not a moderator. I don't like. I have a colorful name, but I don't even remember what it's for. To be
Oh,
perfectly
really?
honest with you. Yeah. Obviously, I made the jump from THC just like everybody else did when that whole ship went down, and that was kind of disgraceful the way that whole thing ended. I've
Right.
just followed. I've just followed where competitive Halo has gone. It's gone a lot of places. Ultimately, there's always been one center or like one locus of competitive Halo community on the net somewhere, and I've always tried to be there.
Huh. Okay. I just realized this whole time when I thought I was had your logo up because I had my Word document with questions. It was covering it, so that's that kind of sucks. But oh well, it's just like a blank screen. At least it wasn't that I was covering your face the whole time. That would be really beat.
Mm.
All right. Let's see. I don't even know if I can edit that in for freaking 2 hours of talking. Um. All right. I was just gonna do random questions. It's gonna be pretty. Or no, these. There's a couple of them that aren't quick questions, and then I just have fast questions. But the first one
Okay.
is if you could have been any pro player at any moment in their career, who would it be and why?
Oh, Gandhi with the fucking toilet paper, man.
Really?
Oh God, that was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, you know what though? Uh, the there was a point where Shook One's team. What the hell were they called? I don't remember what their team name was. It might have been just what Shook One Gaming or something like that. And they beat Straight Rippin in a total upset. And I remember talking to Fallacy about this, the way that it went down. Like everybody was crowding around their station, and people were like hanging over top of Straight Rippin, just like yelling in their ears. And they ended up winning. And one of the players on Shook's team, Vegito, is this really gangly black guy. He just stands up and rips off his shirt and throws it into the crowd and just starts dancing around like a spaz. It was a really infamous moment, and I was just like, "Ah, man, I wish I could be that happy."
That's funny. All right. What was the biggest choke in Halo history that you've seen?
Ooh. Oh man, that's a tough one.
Have you what? There's too many, or you can't think of one.
There's a lot of them. Oh, jeez. I mean, the most famous choke, I think, in Halo history has got to be Fumblyami.
Oh, that was pretty
Yeah.
bad. He
I
did
don't
it
know if
twice.
that.
He did
Yeah,
it
exactly.
twice.
Yeah. I think there's a GIF floating around of I think it's Ghost again of him just throwing the flag like off the
Yeah,
bottom of
and
arrows while
Narrows.
he's running it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same
Um,
exact thing. That's
and
great.
it's got an inlay of his face, and he just has this open mouth, like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" kind of thing going on.
Yeah, that's great. I remember
I don't
that,
know if
man.
I don't know if if that play actually ended up mattering when he threw the ball on lockout,
Right.
because I think they won anyway.
Yeah,
But
that's when it really comes down to it. Cause do you know the play? I think it's quite a oh, what's the word? What's the word for like if a fireman burns down his own house? Why can't I think? Oh, it's ironic
yeah,
that
irony.
yeah. In the clutch, I think that's his name, unless I'm saying that wrong. The Halo 3 Pro, I think his name's in
Yeah,
the clutch.
yeah,
On Guardian Ball, he has the ball on the lead on the near the lift to invis on that stick sticking out where people
yeah.
would hide at, and there's like 10 seconds left, and Neighbor assassinates him and grabs the ball and wins by like 2 seconds.
I do remember that. Yeah,
Yes, and you hear his teammate go, dude, you gotta play the ball, man. And they had it. All he had to do is jump off the thing. He just had to jump off and die, and they had to win. That
yeah,
was
I
pretty
do. I
bad.
remember that. Yeah, I don't know if there's really ever been like a choke in that I can think of where there's been a choke that's actually been really pivotal in a series. That would just make it like totally infamous. I can't think of one. I'm sure there's one that I'm totally forgetting, but
Maybe someone will post it
just
on the
for
forum if
yeah,
they
just for
watched this whole
sheer
thing.
humor value, I'm gonna go with Ghost Ayami in the ball,
Yeah, that was great.
just because he never lived that one down.
Yeah, that's hard to live down. All right, what's the biggest upset you think Halo history?
Biggest upset. Um, I mean, I'm gonna go really old school and go back to MLG Philly when Straight Rippin beat Final Boss, or excuse me, 3D at the time. I'm sure other people probably feel like there's been bigger upsets. Um, like, I mean, when Final Boss lost in Halo 3 and they placed seventh place when they hadn't placed outside the top two in like 2 straight years. I mean, but that was like the beginning of the dismantling of Final Boss, so it's hard to look at that as an upset in hindsight.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Like,
say that too much.
yeah, um, but the that series in Philadelphia was a legitimate upset because it didn't end up getting repeated. Like Final Boss went on to win like 8 or 9 straight events after that, but that was back when Halo 2 had just they didn't have definite settings. They weren't sure of what the best gameplay was, and they were still using like really crappy maps. There's a really famous game in that series, which I think is done mostly or completely from Zyos's point of view, where they get set up on elongation, and it literally did not matter how good 3D was, they could not break that setup. It was completely impossible. And Straight just rode the clock out. I'm not even sure if the game went to 50 or not. It might
Wow,
have.
really?
Probably did.
But it
Um,
lasted a while.
yeah, because there was nothing that they could do. And that they kind of had like a wake up call at that point. They were like, we need to change this because it's just terrible. And so a lot of people think that there's kind of an asterisk on that event.
Right.
But that, I think, for me at least, in all my nostalgia, I think that's the biggest upset I can think of.
Okay, I'll take that. All right. I didn't have too much time to come up with these, but I just have like one word answer questions.
All right.
Real quick, there's like 10 of them. Okay. Favorite food?
Oh shit. Barbecued chicken pizza.
All right. Who's your woman crush Wednesday?
My what?
Woman crush Wednesday. You know, like
What?
if you woman crush Wednesday someone on Instagram or Twitter, who you think's really hot or something like that. Any woman.
Oh Jesus Christ. I never do that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So.
I don't do it either, but I just thought it's better than saying who do you think's good looking.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck. I really, really want to bone Tina Fey.
Oh my God! Wow, you got some weird freaking answers so far, man. We only went through two. I've never heard that. You're a unique guy. All right.
Tina
Um.
Fey's fucking hot, man.
All right. Worst movie of all time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's like ironic bad, and then there's bad bad.
Bad, bad.
I want to say like something like The Room, but
What's
that's like
that?
so
I've
bad
never
it's
even heard of
good.
that.
Oh, geez. Please go look that up after we're done.
You
Um,
tell me to go watch the worst movie that you can pick.
I'm gonna stick with that. That's
Okay.
Yeah, probably
I'll
the
look it
best
up.
bad movie ever. Yeah.
All right. How about the best movie of all time?
I'm gonna go with. There's a lot of movies I could say, but I'm gonna go with Army of Darkness.
Okay. Um, biggest pet peeve.
Shit.
Can't be armor abilities.
People who don't learn their spawns in Halo 1.
All right. Person you hate the most in the world.
Oh, jeez. Chad Kroger,
Who the fuck is that?
the lead singer of Nickelback.
All right. Favorite beer and liquor.
I'm a big fan of Yingling.
Oh,
Uh,
hell yeah. Wait,
yeah.
how? No one knows Yingling outside PA. That's where I'm from. That's where it's brewed. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's all over the place here in Tennessee. I love that
Really?
stuff. Yeah,
That's funny.
definitely. It's really good. That's my go-to, like, cheap beer.
Yeah, that's all my dad drinks, so I drink that decent amount.
Hmm.
All right, what about liquor? You drink liquor at all?
I don't really drink liquor. I do. Wild Turkey probably be my choice.
All right. What about worst beer and worst liquor?
Oh Jesus. Worst beer's got to be Steel Reserve.
Ah, that's a good pick. That's a pretty good pick,
That
man.
stuff is just terrible.
Yeah, I did 40 hands with that stuff. It's not, no, just don't want to
I
talk
don't.
about that.
As far as liquor, I don't. It's not that it tastes the worst, but I don't think I can ever drink another shot of Jack Daniels ever again. I'm just sick of it.
Yeah.
I've drank too much of it. I'm just done with it.
Okay. Biggest video game flop of all time.
Say it one more time. You broke
Like
up.
the biggest video game flop of all time. Like a game that was supposed to be good and just you failed for you.
For me, shoot. Oh well, fuck. For me, it's got to be like Halo 3.
Really?
I mean, as far as what I personally got invested in,
Right.
because I've never really bought a game that was as disappointing for me as Halo 3.
I got you. Okay, Xbox One or Xbox 360?
I have a 360, but I don't really play that many games on it. So I'm going to say, just for sheer fact that the Master Chief Collection is going to be on the Xbox One, I'm just going to say Yeah.
All right. All right, that's pretty much all I got now. So that was a long ass interview. I thought it was going to be like 30 minutes, but I think there was some good talks in there. I'm still mad that I cut off your guy for part of it, but hopefully people see it in the beginning. Maybe I'll just make a cut of me in the beginning of everything and just be like, "Yeah, sorry, I cut cursed guy off." We'll
That's
see though.
fine.
All right, this is going to take forever to. Actually, I'll just close out real quick. Well, thanks for talking with me. I know, like I said, it's hard to get people to do this, especially pro players. Oh, what I was going to ask you, do you have anything you want to ask Ryan? Because I think he might actually be the next person I talk to.
Um, whatever you're on, can I have it?
What do you mean? Oh, to Ryan. All right, I'll ask him that. So that you can enjoy Halo Reach. Is that why?
Oh, well, I don't think I get wasted enough for that. It
All right, that works out. But yeah, thanks for sitting down and chatting. Didn't think it would last this long, but it was a good talk.
was a good talk. I had fun.
All right, well, if you happen to have another interview next time, like I said, I'm going on the forums and asking questions. Hopefully, anyone that actually takes the time to watch this, which I'm gonna cut. I'm just gonna say that if they want to hear quicker questions, they can probably do like the whole second half. But the first half was good stuff too. But yeah, thanks for sitting down. I'm ending the recording now, and we'll
All
see
right.
what happens with next time with the interview with Ryan Noob.